Hey, it's Steve from Sparky's Garage. Today we're going to be tackling one of the coolest upgrades I've ever done on a car before. I have never personally owned this part that I'm about to put on this BMW behind me, but I am super pumped. Should be fairly easy. So yeah, let me show you what I got in store for this E36. So this is what I picked up for the E36. Check it out. Yeah, Fortune Auto Coilover suspension, and I'm gonna be running the divorce style, like factory. But yeah, I have never owned a set of coilover suspension ever on any vehicle, and look at these things. They are a work of art. These are all hand built in Virginia. I mean, these things, I almost don't even want to put them on the car. They're freaking gorgeous. They even got a certificate of assembly. I mean, this is wild. Never thought I would ever own a pair of coilovers. So I am super pumped to get it on this E36. We're gonna walk around, do some measurements first to see what stock is, and then compare it after we get these bad boys on. So this is driver side front. I'm gonna go roughly about the center of the wheel. So we're looking at right about 27 inches. Let's walk around to the passenger side now. So we're gonna go, so this one's actually a little different. This is like 26 7/8. Yeah, 26 7/8. It's a little different. Let me go over here to the rear. This is passenger rear. So we're at 25 and a half. So 25 and a half. And then passenger side, or driver side, rear, we're at 25 and 5/8. All right, so at least we know our stock measurements. But yeah, we're gonna slam this thing down on the ground. And if you notice, all these fenders got these chip marks on all of them. Reason being is they rolled the fenders. So yeah, hopefully that will help out when we get ready to put the new rims and tires on. But yeah, they have already rolled the fenders on this thing. Pretty sweet. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack up the car, take off both sides of the wheels. Once I get those off, we're gonna remove the Bilstein struts off the front. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get in there and degrease, clean everything up. And then we'll start putting in the front coilovers. So after looking at these plugs, they're pretty dry and brittle. I don't think I want to mess with trying to disconnect them. So I went ahead and just removed the lines off the strut, and then I should be able to have enough slack to basically get them off the strut. So we're gonna move on to the next thing. So this is my first time doing this. I did not know what I was doing, so I didn't film anything, but got the strut out. It was actually really easy. So I put my jack underneath here, basically put a little pressure on the control arm, just so that if it does pop, it can't go anywhere down. Took a 13mm socket, undid these, just loosen them, but I did not take them off. Then there is the two 18 bolts, and then there's a third 18 bolt. So basically there is bolt here, that's the two small ones. And then you got that one longer 18mm bolt. It's right there. Once you do that, you just basically, let me get over here, get away from the light. You basically just push it off this little dowel pin right here, and then I basically pushed it, got it through this hole, and then I was able to drop it out, pull it this way, and then slide it out, and I didn't have to disconnect the wires. It came right out. So really easy. Didn't think it was gonna be that easy, but it was really easy. So next, what I'm gonna do, since I have plenty of room in here, I'm gonna just start cleaning everything as best I can. We're gonna run this car without any inner fender oil, just so we don't have any tire rubbage when the new rims and tires go on. So again, I'm gonna go in here and start degreasing, start cleaning, and I'll show you a little before and after. So here is before. You can see there is some body color underneath all this grease. There's some. So I'm gonna see what I can do. So I'll be back. All right, so you can see I degreased all in here. Huge difference. Stuck the coilover in place. Just started the nuts up top. Now I got my jack underneath there. I'm gonna go ahead and jack up the control arm so I can get the bolts on the bottom of these coilovers. So I went ahead and started our bolts there on this side, that side. Got the dowel pin lined up, and then I went ahead and put the top bolt in. We're gonna go ahead and start stunging these down. So here's the passenger side. Wheel is off. We're gonna go ahead and take the lines off the little holder here. And then once we do that, we're gonna go ahead and take that one bolt off on the top here, and then the two bottom bolts. Then we'll actually went ahead and loosen up these. So these are already loose. And then we'll take this strut out, and then we'll get in here and we'll clean all of this, just like we did the other side. This one actually looks a lot worse. You can't even see anything green in here. So anyways, yeah, stay tuned. So inside is all nice and clean. You can see the green. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the coilover in. So here's the passenger side. Coilover is in. Looks killer. So next thing we're gonna address is the brakes. So we're gonna upgrade these brakes and upgrade to wheel studs instead of these wheel bolts, basically. So we're gonna go ahead and take all these wheel bolts off, and then we're gonna go back here and remove the caliper, and then I'll grab a zip tie or something and put it on this bracket right here off the coilover, just to hold it temporarily. Now this hole right here, this is for a different sway bar in link. If you go to the M3 style, it'll be a sway bar in link that goes from here to your sway bar, not off the control arm. So that's what this bracket's for. So let me get this busted off. Actually, what I'm gonna do real quick is just clean it up. Somebody's obviously painted it, make it look like a Brembo, but it's really not. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove the rotor. The next thing we do. Now this is a number 6 Allen. And now this should come off. Should. And it's stuck on there. Let me, you have to give it a little bang with the hammer. Yeah, these things have seen better days. Seen better days. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up all this stuff, and then we'll go ahead and put our stud kit on. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the stud in now. Went ahead and just try to clean all this up. So we're gonna put some Loctite on this. So just a small little dab, nothing crazy. So there's the studs, they're all on. Like I said, I put a little bit of Loctite on them. And now let's get the rotor out, and then we'll go ahead and reinstall a little countersink little screw there. All right, let's put this rotor on. Man, that looks good. Wow. That thing is awesome. And also I got these nice black anodized lug nuts that go in these studs here. So these are gonna look super nice. It's looking pretty good. I'm happy. Man, these look so good. These with the coilovers. Oh, damn, this looks good. So I don't know what to do about the caliper. Should I leave it gold, fake Brembo gold, or should I paint it a color? I may wait till I see what it looks like with the new shoes it's getting. Not gonna tell you what it is yet, so stay tuned for that one. So one last thing we're gonna do is upgrade the pads to go along with these awesome rotors. Again, picked up some PowerStop pads. These are carbon fiber ceramic pads. So basically these are gonna be a little bit more aggressive than factory stock. It comes with your pads for both sides. A new sensor, which I did not know that, which is pretty cool. A little retainer, and then it looks like the little guides. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get these upgraded. All right, the first thing you wanna do is go ahead and pop off these little dust caps. Kinda already went ahead and did this. There's these two 7mm bolts that go through here. You're basically gonna undo those. Once you undo those, you're basically gonna take your thumb, press down, and then you're gonna slide this clip off. And then the whole bracket's gonna come off. Now what I like to go ahead and do is take the bracket and go ahead and bolt it on back onto the, oops, I got it the wrong way. Bolt it back onto the spindle here. So I would start with that first. Then you can go ahead and pull one brake pad off, and then this brake pad, just push it off. There's a little clip, but take your thumb and just push it right off. You're gonna go ahead and pop these little dust boots off. Basically this is the guide for the guide to slide in and out. When you go to reinstall these, we're gonna spray these with brake clean them all up, and then go ahead and put on the supplied grease that comes with them. You wanna grease these up really good. The other thing you wanna do too, and I'll show you when you're gonna do it, take one of your old brake pads. I'm gonna probably take this one just because it's got a flat surface. It doesn't matter which way you put it in, just stick it in there, and you're gonna take a clamp, and you're gonna compress this piston so it's all the way flush. I'm probably gonna go up to the engine side, pop the reservoir cap off just to bleed off some of the air. But yeah, it's pretty easy to go ahead and do this. So I'm gonna get busy. So you can see we finished up the brakes. It was pretty fairly easy. Yeah, I mean, obviously you saw it was in fast forward mode, but basically wiped down the rotors front and back side with brake clean to make sure there's no grease on them. We went ahead and lubed up the pins. The one thing I did not do, and they didn't seem that bad, is I did not put the little supplied dust boot that the pin rides in. These are factory and they actually seem pretty dry, and they seem to be a better design than these aftermarket ones. So I went ahead and left them, greased up the pins. I did have to take a brass brush just to knock off some of the really stuck on grease, but yeah, I am super happy. Again, it's fairly easy. Got that new sensor wire put on, have it routed around the top of the coilover, and then it goes right back in its holder and then back in the factory connection. I did pop off the master cylinder cover or cap just to let it breathe as I collapsed that piston. But yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and just basically repeat everything on the passenger side. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Now that I've got this side all set up, we're gonna go back over to the driver's side here, and I'm gonna show you guys how to set up the preload. So first thing you want to do is make sure that your shock is loose, or not shock, but the spring. You want to measure your spring. So like on mine, I'm running a 7-inch spring. So you need to set the preload a 1/4 inch of preload. So basically I need to compress this spring with this bottom collar and make sure I can compress it down to 6 3/4. That basically gives me a 1/4 inch of preload. Once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and lock down the locking ring right here, and then our preload is set. And then we're gonna go ahead and use basically this bottom one here. This will be used to basically adjust the ride height and lock it down. And once this is locked down in place, then you just spin your body, and then basically you just raises and lowers the car. That's how you get your ride height, and your preload stays the same. So let me go ahead and get this knocked out real quick. So you can see, got my measurement again. We're from the top of the coil spring to the bottom, and we are right at 6 3/4. So we have this 7-inch coil spring compressed down 1/4 inch of preload. We're good to go. So this wraps up the front suspension here on my E36. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You saw we basically got rid of the stock struts, put on those Fortune Auto Coilovers. I kind of showed you guys how to set up the preload on the springs. Didn't show you the ride height adjustment yet. We'll do that later on when we get the new shoes for this thing, and I can't wait to reveal that to you all. And then also we put on some new brake pads and new rotors for all this upgrades. I mean, this is going to be a huge improvement on this car. So anyways, make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, and follow along, because the next is going to be the rear suspension. And then after the rear suspension, we're going to put on the new shoes, and then we're going to set ride height, and we're going to put this thing down on the ground. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.